Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another session of Whatever's Clever with D.O. Lee. That's me. Hope everybody's feeling good, feeling great, without no wait. Let's get to it. Now, with the NBA assessing expansion possibilities and Adam Silver examining previous analysis into expansion, I thought we'd have some fun with it. Let's make our own team. We all done did it before, whether on 2K in general manager mode, or just in our minds. We all look at rosters, we think of players, and we say, he'll be a good fit here, a good fit there. The only difference here is we making our own team. And to do so, we got to use free agents or free agents to be from overseas that's coming out their contract, or just a hidden gem, you might do some local scouting for, or inquire about an athlete you've seen on YouTube, etc., etc. So let's get started, shall we? For my point guard, I decided to choose. Now, I don't know who's going to be starting yet, but I went with Isaiah Thomas, who's 31. He also got a chip on his shoulder, man. I'll be counting on that to bring the best out of him. Behind him, I got Emmanuel Mudiay, who's 24 years old, plays a little defense, but not really the point guard you would want running the floor too much. But hey, he's 24. It's possible. He can still improve with the right staff, Coaching is everything, honestly. The staff is everything. Very underrated in the NBA. In basketball and all sports, honestly. You can have the greatest star on your team, but if you ain't got the right staff to bring the best out of him, hey, you'll go unfulfilled. And third on my depth chart at the point guard position is JJ Barea. He's 36 years old, but brings a bunch of experience, a bunch of wisdom, and can still get you a couple buckets, honestly. Now, I'm going to be honest, my point guard depth chart is kind of trash, but given today's NBA, any decent point guard will be on the team. So I feel like my team's core will be at the 2 through 4 position. But there's really not much free agents. I'm sure a legit GM will be digging in the roster charts overseas and all that, trying to see who's going to be free, who's available, what young stud who could ball out, like Ginobili or some, that they're going to be looking for. Now at the shooting guard position, for me, honestly, this guy will be starting. I'll have him starting. He won't be playing much minutes, but it'll be Gerald Green. He's 34, been around for years, been on teams that were horrible, and been on teams that was just one series away from being in the finals. He's not the best, and also he's past his prime, obviously, but he can still shoot the rock. He's pretty athletic on the perimeter, and he got them hops for fancy and impactful dunks that get the crowds hyped. So any boost of energy is welcomed over here. We gotta get going, baby. We an expansion team. And he's a decent shooter from 3. Just the other year, he shot 37%. So, you know what? I'll take that. Now, like I said, I won't have him receive most minutes at the 2 unless he's rolling and he's hot, But the bulk of minutes I'll be giving now at the 2 position will be between these next 2 guys. One of them being Lance Stevenson. I believe Lance is like 31 years old now. He graduated the year before me because he used to tear my high school up. John F. Kennedy High School in the Bronx. He used to tear them up. Shout out to all my Knights out there. You know how we do and how we did, baby. Nighttime. Now, when speaking about Lance Stevenson, I gotta shout out Lincoln High School, man. Even though the best player to come out of Lincoln was Jesus Shuttlesworth, baby. Come on, y'all know that. Come on. But yeah, filling out the 2 position will be Dion Waiters, who's 29 and who actually will get a nice amount of playing time. I almost forgot about Waiters. The offense he brings to the table, we'll just have to work on that consistency. And to cap off the shooting guard position, of course, some of the tools will play at the 3, will be Nick Stauskas for obvious reasons. He's 27 years old and the man could shoot the rock. This man could shoot. His jump shot is water. He can't put it on the floor or nothing, but we incorporate his shooting into the offense, so we'll work on that. Like I said, we're an expansion team and we're just getting started. And now at small forward, starting for me would be Corey Brewer. I always like the guy, man. He's so energetic, he's so scrappy, and he hustles his tail off all the time. You never see this man take a play off. He's not the most talented, but you gotta make that up with effort, and he sure does. So he's one of those guys coaches love having, man, as a role player. And that's why I have a dilemma, because I wouldn't want him starting to play too much minutes, but due to available free agents, he just may have to. But you know what? I only got 14 men on my roster, so let me go ahead and pick up a 15th, Marco Bellinetti. I'm going to sign him right now. That's on the spot. My squad could use some shooting. Definitely could use some shooting. I'm looking at my chart right now. Sheesh. Alright, man. Let's get to the 4s, to the power forwards. to the big dogs, you know? I'm going to go with the combination of Kyle O'Quinn and Taj Gibson for my backups at the power forward position. Taj Gibson is 35, slowing down. You know, he probably get about 15, 18 minutes a game. Kyle O'Quinn got a nice mid-range, just like Taj. And just like Taj, he can rebound the ball. He's tough, he's gritty, and he brings that attitude that every team needs. Now, starting at the 4, stretching the floor, would be Omri Caspi. He last played for the Kings, I believe. And he could shoot the rock. He could put the ball in the bucket. And that's what we need, you know. And to be honest, there's not really that much big man out there that's available that's even decent, you know. If there's any available name out there that's a big man, he's like 40 years old or something like that. You know, if you're a big man and you can move and you can play, you'll be on the team. And with that being said, it's time to move on to the centers. Now this one was tough. There's really not much out there, man. Initially, I was trying to look for those who were well coached in college and played on well coached teams in the NBA. But like I said, man, there's really no bigs out there. However, I did manage to come across a center who I think is above average, and I'll gladly slide him into my starting center position with no problem. But first, let me give you his backup, Tyson Chandler. Now, Tyson Chandler's 38 years old. He'll obviously get limited minutes, but he'll play the mentor role to the rest of the team, being, you know, the much older, experienced guy. He won the championship as an underdog at that. He played for Rick Carlisle, who's a respected coach. He played with Dirk. He defeated LeBron and D-Wade's Miami Heat team in the finals, so hopefully that'll rub off on the young and the less experienced. Now, the starter will be Greg Monroe. He'll be my starter. I think he's a decent player, man. I always did. He was just a victim of the small ball era, which only lasted as long as the Warriors were good, let's be honest. The Warriors started it, and the Warriors ended it. Maybe the Rockets are trying to mimic it, but let's be honest. You need the team. You need the whole team to really complement each other. You got to have good drivers who could also shoot, and good shooters who could also drive. People don't realize that. They just think because a bunch of people could shoot, put them out there. Doesn't work like that. And of course, chemistry. Hello. Back to Greg Monroe, who will be my starter. He's an above average rebounder. He has good energy. And as we see, the small ball trend somewhat is starting to fade away. I think on some games, when the matchup allows, we'll work through Greg Monroe, as I feel the most effective strategy for an offense in basketball is to work inside out when you have an effective big. And Greg Monroe has post moves. Let's not forget that. He has some decent offense. So I'm feeling pretty good about my starting center. But my last center, actually my last player that I'll be jotting down on the roster chart, is a young 22-year-old. His name is Omir Yurtseven. Now, Amir is from Turkey. He hasn't played the NBA game, but his strengths are his defensive awareness, defensive positioning, and his touch on the offensive side of the ball. I've seen some videos of him, and he could pretty much put the ball in the basket from anywhere 20 feet and below. Now, the concern with him is that he is weak and skinny. He tends to get pushed around on the defensive side of the board. You know, how ironic that his weakness is his strength. Well, the lack of it at least, but hopefully with some training and development and tutelage of our vets, he'll become something decent at least. That's a big dude. Well, he's tall and his arms are hella long. So there you have it, man. That's my squad for the expansion team right there. Now, I wonder what city they'll be looking for to get this team placed in. I think we all know the obvious choice would be Seattle. And if they really do go through with this expansion, they better bring the Supersonics back. Yes, please. We all could agree on that. Before I go, let me give y'all my close calls, my honorable mentions. And they are as follows. We got Jeremy Lin, who came close, Jared Bayless, who almost made the cut, and Tyler Zeller. But they ain't make the cut. So how about you tell me who made your cut? Who's your team? How you starting this off? Now, initially I wanted to do 5 starters and 2 bench players, but you know, I got a little carried away. This was pretty fun exercise, especially if you like basketball and you like putting teams together. So knock yourself out, man. Have a try. Let me know how it go. Let me know your squad. And remember, stay safe and have a good day. This is Whatever's Clever, With D.O. Lee, peace.
I used to sit where you sit. And after all that work, a coach would take me out and bring in somebody to stop, somebody to defend. It was disrespect to me. You earned the right to win the game. You earned the right. All right, let's go get it. Let's go get it.